From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Inside Politics.
Hello, everyone. I'm News Channel 5's political analyst, Pat Nolan. Welcome to Inside Politics. Is the 2016 presidential election about to get real this coming week? No longer will it be focused on just the polls, the TV debates, and the 24/7 news coverage. Coming up on Monday, February 1st, voters in Iowa will hold the nation's first caucus to choose their preferred candidates in both parties. On February 9th, 8 days later, the first-in-the-nation primary is set to be held in New Hampshire. What's going to happen and what does it all mean, especially as Tennessee approaches its March 1st presidential primary? We have to share their thoughts and insights today on Inside Politics. Democratic strategist Larry Woods, and next to him is conservative analyst Steve Gill. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming on the show.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll start out with this question. Have any of you ever seen, you've been through many presidential cycles, have you ever seen as presidential election is as crazy and as unexpected as this one? It's sort of vacillated between being a soap opera and a really interesting reality TV show.
You know, Steve said right before we went on the air, Pat, he and I and Sarah Lee and some of our friends have been in the New Hampshire, Bob too, have been in New Hampshire for the New Hampshire primary, the last 3 or 4 times in the presidential cycle. This will be the first year we haven't been there. And it is so exciting to be there on the ground and see all these national candidates and national media up close and personal and can observe what they're doing. But I have to say, what we're seeing long distance from Iowa right now, gee, it hadn't been this complex in a long, long time.
Steve, all this talk about the anger in the electorate, obviously that still seems to be out there, but it's different in each party as it manifests itself, right?
But the anger and the angst that people have and the desire to have somebody who isn't from Washington is being manifest on both sides. And even though Bernie Sanders is a senator, he is the outsider, and he has given Hillary Clinton fits. And you look on the Republican side, all the people who have attracted the most attention, from Donald Trump to Carly Fiorina to Ben Carson to really Ted Cruz, they're all outsiders. So, I mean, people are gravitating to somebody who isn't part of the problem as they perceive it in Washington. And I think you're seeing that play out on both sides of the aisle.
I think that's exactly right. And as you said, both Cruz and Sanders are U.S. senators, but they're both viewed as outsiders in Washington and therefore by the voters in the country. And this is going to be the election of the outsiders, Donald Trump. And it's hurting my candidate, Hillary, in the Democratic side. It's hurting her very badly.
And you look at guys that have already dropped out. I mean, Governor Rick Perry, Governor Walker, Governor Jindal. You have some guys that are stellar, have
and
amazing resumes.
And governors who are hanging on by their toenails.
And they were out before they even got started. And Donald Trump, and we talked about this months ago when he first started talking about getting in. I knew he would suck the oxygen out of the whole process, but he's done it far exceeding anything I could have imagined. And I think the experts, they thought, oh, he's got a cap at 20%, 25%. He's not 40-something percent. Looks like he may get the nomination if he can win Iowa and New Hampshire, and has exceeded anything I think people thought he would have in terms of an impact.
But now, if you gave me $100 million, even as unpopular as I am, I could move the cap up. But you're right.
We'd have to have an awfully good media team, even with $100 million.
True. Trump really is a star power candidate, and just like a star, he may explode in a nova before it's over.
Well, is he rewriting all the rules? Is he found in things that are different? There's a different way.
He's bending.
I mean, he's not covered up with consultants. He's not covered up with buying a lot of TV media and other stuff. He's doing almost all of it in social media and on the telephone from his own apartment. He's not even going out to a lot.
Beyond outside the box. And I don't think he's rewritten it for other candidates. He's shown that he is a unique candidate and able to do things that others couldn't get away with. But keep in mind that just like television personalities, people see you on television. If you're the news anchor in the local TV, they think they know you even though they've never met you because you've been in their home while they're sitting on their couch with their family. That's that personal connection. He's had that with The Apprentice, with that television appearance, but he's had something bigger than that. He's had the biggest stars and celebrities that we know in America. Rock stars, movie stars, sports stars, country music stars, all gather around him and call him Mr. Trump. The people we respect and revere treat him with ultimate respect and reverence, and I think that is translated in a way that nobody could have anticipated.
Yeah, different from Michael Bloomberg, different from Ross Perot, different from other multimillionaires who can write their own check and don't have to have the fundraising. As you point out, Trump starts, he's already a celebrity, he's already a TV star, he's already catered to by the leadership of the world in a certain way, and therefore gets entrees and opportunities that other candidates don't.
And has touched a nerve in a different way than I think another candidate could. You know, people are upset. They're angry. You know, their boss makes them mad. They can't do anything about it. They can't risk losing the job. Their spouse makes them mad. They can't say anything. People are having to take a lot of junk. And Donald Trump doesn't have to take junk from anybody. And I think there's this kind of visceral attitude. I think Bernie Sanders to some extent as well.
Right.
I might have to take junk from everybody, but this guy doesn't have to take junk from anybody, so I'm for him.
But Larry, you've got this whole thing going on over in the Republican Party, particularly on the establishment, who literally, if you're talking about the National Review, which is the heart and soul of the conservative movement. I mean, that's William F. Buckley's magazine.
Right.
They had an entire edition that declared war on Trump. Is the Republican Party in a civil war?
Yes, but all parties are constantly at tension with opposing factions.
Yeah, but this is a shooting war.
Yes, this is heated up beyond a Cold War. It's a shooting war, as you so well put it, and that's not going to end until Trump or Cruz, I think we all sort of think it's going to be one of those two, prevails. And I think that's going to take, what, 3 or 4 or 5 of these.
But you got Bernie Sanders, who's a self-avowed socialist, who's never done anything in an entire career in the House and Senate. From tiny Vermont, I think, you know, helping the milk producers is his biggest claim to credit. He's given Hillary Clinton fits, and this was just supposed to be her glory run right to the White House. She's in worse position with him right now than she was with Barack Obama 8 years ago.
Let's take a break. We're talking presidential politics 2016. We'll come back and break down a little bit of Iowa and New Hampshire and also what lies ahead with Steve Gill and Larry Woods. Back to continue this conversation after this break.